This is a screencast to teach teachers about motivators and games for your class. And since we're going to be doing remote learning, I thought it'd be really great to just have ways to engage the students because it's hard for them to sit in front of a screen for that long. But this will be a fun way to get them really into their learning. So our goal is to help our students learn first and foremost, but also to really be motivated. I'll be sharing a bunch of ideas. One is a Hall of Fame, two class dojo points, three escape room, scavenger hunt, taboo game, breakout rooms, Simon Says, and memory. And there are a lot of ideas besides this, but these are just the 8 that I thought I'd share today. So number 1, Hall of Fame. If you need one template, a link is there. And there are a million templates, or you can make your own. I made this one. This is a chance for kids to earn their way to get into the Hall of Fame. I do some con math lessons, and the kids can earn these energy points. And so the kids feel really proud of themselves. They could put their name up here, and it's a fun way. There is some kind of like competition. We try to keep it positive as a celebration, not anything negative. And this is something I did for my step up class, and I made it a fun like game, like who will win the competition? Everyone wins. And so at the end, everyone got to be in the Hall of Fame. Number 2 is the class dojo points. This is another way to just motivate kids with points, and there's no real prizes, but just the glory of winning a lot of points. So here's the link. You have to set up your own classroom, and everyone gets a cute little monster. I found this website a little difficult to navigate because I can't change the monsters. I know the kids really want to access that. I think you have to pay money or do something else. But I just got the basic version, and I would keep track of their points. And when you give points, you have to create your own like number 5 points one, because the only ones they give you are 1 point each. And this can be a little bit cumbersome when you're flipping back and forth to give people points. So what I do is I just keep an iPad open next to my laptop, and so I can give points, and the kids hear a little bling and they find it fun, and it is motivating. So you can try that. Another really exciting one is escape room. My students love this, and during the summer and the kids clubs that I did, they all love this. So it's a group activity, and here's a link. The website that I really like is Huda Math, and they have tons of optional ideas like states, and if you go into one of these, they have more escape rooms. And what you do is you're the clicker, and the kids tell you what to do. Go left, go right, click on this. And whenever you find a arrow turns into a hand, then you click on it. And you act really excited and you cheer for them. They cheer when they find a clue and solve some part of it. But actually you can find all the answers if you click on this walkthrough video beforehand. So you know, but you act like you don't know. For another great way to get kids moving and really energized, because they hate sitting for that long, is a scavenger hunt. And I have some ideas here on this link. And I usually do like a basic scavenger hunt. I call out something and I say, okay, whoever gets it, shows it, and types it into the chat first. Because sometimes it's hard to see who actually holds it up first. And I'll say, oh, I picked the first 5 people who typed it in first. So you could pick common items like this, like who can bring a box of tissues or who can run and get their toothbrush. And they love it. And they're moving and they're energized. It's fun. There are other ways to do the scavenger hunt by giving them a riddle. And I do this too because it actually gives them a little pause. They have to figure out, oh, what is it that we need to get? And then it's fun to see their light bulbs go off and they run and go get it. For example, the more I try, the wetter I become. And they realize, oh, it's a towel. Then they run and get the towel. If you skin your knee and feel bad, stick me on and you'll be glad. And that's a bandage. Another type of scavenger is kind of a reverse. Instead of keeping your laptop or device there and running it and bringing it to the camera, you actually tell them what you want to see through a riddle. And once that light bulb goes off, they figure out what it is, and they take their iPad and they go run to the place. So for example, I take your clothes for quite a spin, but first they get wet. That's how I begin. And so they're thinking, and then somebody will say, oh, I know. And then they take their device to go show the washing machine. So in that scenario, you have to watch carefully to see who shows you the washing machine first. And of course, you have to give all those caveats like be careful, don't trip, don't kick your baby sister as you're running, be, thoughtful about how you're going to walk fast around the house. Here's another one. I rain on you when you need a scrub. I'm very much like my friend the tub. And so they go show the shower in the camera. Another game is called the Taboo game. It's a classic game. I'm sure many people have played it. And here's a link for some cards that I made for us. And you split the teams into two. You split the kids into two teams, and you pick which person is the clue giver. And the rest of the team has to cover their eyes, no peeking, while you show the card. And they have to keep their eyes closed the whole time. Okay, so while the rest of the team is guessing, the one clue giver gets to keep his or her eyes open. Then you show on your phone, you just hold it up, 1 minute, and it's really easy, but it's kind of a little tricky to hold it up and everything. But you hold it up like this so that they can actually get a sense of the time crunch, which makes things more fun. And you want to practice this. So as you present it, the team has their eyes closed, and you will show them a card like this. The word is cake, and the clue giver can't say birthday or dessert. So they're thinking of all these different ways. It's kind of fun and intense. It's a sweet thing you eat, and it could be, you put frosting on it. So everyone is having a fun time trying to guess. And then once they get that, you just keep going until the minute runs out. Oh, it's a beast on the farm, you can't say milk, you can't say animal. And you will typically find they get about 3 or 4 done as they get used to this game. It gets more and more exciting. And then the other team gets a chance. And you just keep flip-flopping until you feel like it's been a good run of a fun, motivating game. For breakout room, make a list. You are just trying to build teamwork and community, so you will give them a topic or a category. So for example, you could say superheroes, and then you're going to give them a certain amount of time, show your timer. You can do other things that have to do with your learning too, like what are some of the math vocabulary words we've learned this week. And so in their breakout rooms, typically about 3 or 4 kids, maybe more, but it gets a little complicated then. You want to just let them have that time in that breakout room to write down as many things as they can on their list. And you want to designate 2 writers because sometimes the one writer will forget one. Then you bring them back to the breakout room and remind them before you send them out that they have to come back to the room at the moment they see that little message that says come back to the main session. Otherwise, there's some issue of like, oh, they got more time. So then once you're in the main session, each team shares their list and you find out which team has won. So it's a really fun game. And finally, it's Simon Says. Simon Says you know how to play it, but in Zoom, it's just through a camera. So you can have them anything within the camera frame. Sometimes it's hard for them to like get up and walk around or act like a penguin, but you can do it. It's fun. And I like to do this funny trick. Simon says, put your hands on your eyebrows. And before they do it, you do something different and you try to trick them and then they can be out, it makes them laugh every time. So you're like, put your hands on your eyebrows, and they all follow you because they think that they need to follow you. Next is the memory game. Last but not least, the memory game. This is a nice, fun game for building the whole class as a team. Here's a link. And the link lets you send one link to one student. And so that student is kind of your rep who's going to be doing all the clicking, but the students tell that student what to click. And then they will click accordingly. Now you want to give them some vocabulary words like row, column, move over to the right, move over to the left, things like that. But otherwise, it's a really fun time. So those are my 8 ideas. Here are some other ideas I have, like Spot It, and there are some cards online you can find for that. Rebus's is the link. You can play a simple game of Hangman since we have a whiteboard on the Zoom. Flipgrid is a great way. You just have to sign up your kids for that, and you could play Two Truths and a Lie, and everybody make their video. Charades is a classic Pictionary, again with the whiteboard. Hidden Objects, here's a link that there's a website for that. And then you could show them a silly picture and ask them what's silly about it, or what do you remember seeing. Show a picture for like, 20 seconds, have them memorize every single thing in the picture, and then take it away and ask them what they remember. Well, best wishes with your class and the remote learning. I hope that these are helpful and fun and motivating for your kids. And if you have any questions or need any help, feel free to give me uh, an email and I will try to respond back to you and be as helpful as I can. Have a great time and best wishes with the year.